Faith means believing in advance what will only make sense in reverse. That's how Philip Yancey puts it when he's talking about our need to trust God's plan for us. And here we are at the end of Advent. Things might not be going the way that we wanted. We might not even have started any kind of spiritual journey, and that's okay. This is our time to say that even though everything is not ready in my home, I'm still going to sit back and spend time trying to understand where God is connecting the dots in my life. And you know, when we have the opportunity to pray, and when we look at Scripture, especially this week, sometimes we can take a Scripture verse and use it for our own wants and needs, and we'll kind of manipulate it and make it say something that it really wasn't meant to say. But in Isaiah's Scripture this week, he says that a son will be born, and you will name him Emmanuel. That means God is with us. There was no mincing of words. It wasn't like this guy's going to come, he's going to be a prophet, he's going to tell you about the Father. No, he was saying that God himself will be with us. So if we ever doubt in our faith that Jesus Christ was truly God and truly man, we have to know that this scripture from Isaiah tells us it is God that is with us. And when it comes to our gospel, it reminds me so often of what I hear from people, or maybe even what you hear, that you know, this faith thing for you is much easier because you're holy or because you do it all the time or you're around good people. I just can't do it. I don't have the time and I don't understand it. And the fact of the matter is that none of us have it all together. I don't understand it any better than you if I don't spend time and to make the conscious decision to pray and to open up the Word and to see what God is saying to me. I have kids, I have a wife, I have bills, I have every other thing going on that in some way wants to take me away from where God needs me to be. But I fight for it, and I stop, and I want to hear what he has to say so that I can one day understand it when I watch it in reverse. And Joseph in this gospel is the prime example of that. He's a good, holy, righteous man. He wants to do what God asks him to do until he finds out that Mary's pregnant. So he's going to divorce her quietly and not bring shame to her, but he's not going to stay with her. Actually, he would have been part of stoning her to death if he was following the tradition of the people at that time. But Joseph's just going to walk away until the angel comes to him and says, Joseph, you will take Mary into your house. Now, we get to read the rest of the story. We hear about it in Scripture. But Joseph, he doesn't know how it's going to play out. He doesn't get to watch it in reverse. He will many years later as Jesus grows up, but we don't hear that story. And so for us, we're just like Joseph. We have to say yes to God even when it's not comfortable or we don't fully understand what he really needs us to be in that moment. We all are that mess. We all don't have it together. We just have to have the courage and the ability to say yes, that I will trust that God has what's best in store for me and for those that I love. And when we talk about people having faith, it reminds me of the last set of people that I'd like to talk about as characters in our nativity. And those are the shepherds, the ones who would have watched the flock and kept watch over the sheep. They were the least likely of guests, the unlikely guests who would be invited to see the king first, up on a hill doing what they do until they see the star that leads them to the Christ child. Nobody would have ever picked them to come first. No king would have invited them to the party. But yet God wanted the humble and the childlike faith of those who were simple to be able to see him first. And so with us, he will ask us to see him if we just open our eyes and trust. So I ask you to do that in this final preparation for Christmas. Again, no matter where you are, take these final moments to trust. Know that it will all be okay. Open up the Word, spend time to pray, simply go to Mass and think about how you can worship through all the sacraments. But no matter how it plays out or how it works, enter this Christmas season secured in the hope that God has your best interest of mind and he will not leave you. I wish you a very blessed and Merry Christmas to you and your family, and to all those that you love that you can bring joy to. May God meet you everywhere that you desire him always, and until we see each other again, take care.